Okay, I've worked on the profile a little bit for that new lip of gutter. And so as it turned out, I'm able to keep the 0.25% starting off at the elevation that I needed to. And I put these PVIs in such that each one of them is at 0.25. And when I get down to the end, it goes down to 0.25 just right. So using minimum slope, I was able to create this profile. Not still sure that it's going to work or not, but it's kind of a starting place. This is what we'll shoot for. So now we have an alignment and a profile for this particular section of the roadway. So now it's time to target this to that information. So I'll click on here and I'll say edit a target. I want to edit this section right here. So I'll click inside here and we're going to target the right hand side, which is the westerly side. And so for the width target on the right hand lane, we're going to add an alignment, and it's going to be the right lip alignment for that. We'll say OK to that, and then also on the right hand side we're going to choose a profile, and that profile is going to be that same lip and then the proposed lip, not the existing surface, the one that I did before with a 0.25 percentages. So we'll add that in. When we say OK and OK, it's going to rerun the corridors, and now that section is targeting the proposed lip of gutter all the way down. So we'll accept that, and we have to basically do the same thing with the opposite side of the road. So, and the opposite side of the road is really going to start up here at this location. So we would do the same thing. We would create an alignment with the lip of gutter all the way down. Let me highlight it here so we can see what I'm doing. So this is the right lip of gutter all the way down, and we need to create, once again, an alignment out of that. From objects, we'll select that right lip of gutter. We'll hit enter there, and that's going to be the left lip from DeGarmo Park. And again, we don't want to add any curves or anything, and in this case, again, I don't want to erase those entities. And when I do, it creates this alignment down here. Now what I want to do is I want to match, for ease of use here, I want to match the alignments to the same alignments that are across the street. So this is at 0, so I want this one to be 0 right at the same location. So what I'll do is I'll draw a line from the end here at the 0 mark, and I can choose it anywhere here, and then go perpendicular to the center line and extend that to this alignment. That's where I want this alignment to be 0 on this side, so we can easily correlate between the two. So now I need to reset this guy, and we'll do it from the alignment properties. On the station control, we're going to select here, and it's going to warn us, and that's fine. I want to use this end of line here, and I'm going to make that 0 station. So now the two alignments on either side of the road correlate with one another. Now it's going to be fairly easy to create this profile, at least from this point down. So with that alignment, we're going to create another profile with existing ground, and it's going to be the right lip and I want to add OG in there. So we'll add that in. We'll say draw the profile. We're going to use our standard. We'll just next, 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 and next, and next. And we will create that profile right here. Now I also want to add the band on top so I can kind of tell where I'm at with this. So we will add that band to the top of the profile, and we want to add this CPS standard. We'll say OK, and now we have these two profiles here. So at zero elevation, right lip, I'm sorry, I goofed up here. I want to create the left lip of profile. I got goofed up here. So we're going to go left lip of profile and add the OG in there. I apologize for that. We'll go draw on profile, use the standard, say OK, next, 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 and create the profile. And this should be a little bit longer than the other one, which it is. We'll make this profile the OG profile, OG ground. And now we can create the correct grade breaks in this section. But first, I need to add the band into the top. So we'll go to the top of profile, and we'll add this guy in. We'll say OK. And now we have these profiles that kind of correlate. So at zero elevation, I need to be at 170.43 approximately to keep this as consistent on both sides as possible. So we will go to the profile. We're going to create a layout profile, and this is going to be lip, we'll say left lip from DeGarmo Park. We'll say OK to that, and then we're going to just start clicking away here, and then we'll set the elevations accordingly here shortly. So we'll start at 0, say any A, and I'm just going to click here anywhere, does not really matter. And then I want to mimic these same elevations. So at 300, at 3 and a pair, which is right here, I want to have a point there. And then at 5 and a pair, which is here, I want to have that. And I'm just clicking along, just selecting those stations for right now. Then I want to go to 8 and a pair. So 8 and a pair should be right here, which it is. Let's say end here. And then and at 10 a pair, I want another one. So roughly at 10 a pair, I want another one. So this alignment doesn't go quite down that far, but that's okay. We'll say any A and select here. And I know it's kind of a cattywampus situation here, but at 0 for this section of roadway, I want to mimic this exact elevation. So 170.43. And then go minus 0.25 to here, and 169.80 should match at 3 and a pair. at 3 and a pair. Where am I at? Okay. And 169.68, and I'm at 169.68. So if I continue on with these elevations, and I say 0.25, and then minus 0.25, I'm just using geometry again here. And then I have to find out where I'm at on the other side of the road at this point. Right now it's hitting at 0.7. And so what I can do there is go down to 998. So right at this location, I need to be at basically what the same thing at 10 a pair I am across the street. So if I shoot for where's 10 a pair? So if I bring that at 0.25, I can see where I'm at here. So 0.25, and then I need to double check on this for that section there. So these two should mimic each other for the most part all the way down. One way I can check on that is I can apply them both to this center line alignment using a thing called transposing or superimposed profiles. So when I click on this and I say give me a superimposed profile in here, that's fine. It basically draws that profile in here to its end, and then I'll do the same thing with this profile, and I'll superimpose this profile up into here. And now I can see that these are in fact just about on top of one another, and that's really what I want as I go through this. Now, don't worry about the other profile. The centerline profile will be adjusted according to what these are to give it as close to a 2% cross slope as I can possibly get. And this will take a little bit of time to be able to match this. Right here is an intersection, right through here somewhere. So this point right here is at the Tenaya Way intersection right here. So there's going to be a little bit of work to come around here, but if I shoot for that, then this profile will or this corridor will be the same on both sides for the most part. So now that I have alignments and profiles in this section, I can click on this and now target this area, this end here. And so this is the left-hand lanes. So we're going to add an alignment, left lip. And then on the left-hand lane, we're going to add, from the left-hand lip, we're going to say left lip from DeGarmo Park and add that. When we say OK there, it's going to shoot back out to that. And now this section of roadway, for the most part, is consistent on both the left and the right sides. And if we want to look at that, that is from station, roughly, from station 325 or so. So let's go look at our cross sections from 325. Where are we at here? Is it up here? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me back up. This, we want to be 3125. We want to look at the cross sections at 3125 and see how those are laying down. So there's 34, there's 3150, There's 3125, which is the intersection. So 3150 is shooting out correctly on that side. And then we can look at how these are getting steeper and steeper or shallower and shallower, and we'll be adjusting our centerline profile accordingly for those, because we want to shoot for roughly 2% across the road. It doesn't look like we've gone through here and looked at this yet very well. 31 in a pair. Both sides should be equally out there. So 31, here's 3150. So we're looking at 279 to 281. Pretty close. 290 to 292. 3 to 303. 311 to 313. And so on and so forth. Now, what we can do is we can go back. Once we have all these sides targeted, we can start looking at the center line of the road and setting those center line breaks accordingly in this area so that it is fairly consistent. So and I can just rest my cursor here. So at 3127.90, I need to be 2% across the slope. And so we'll take a distance here, a rough distance, from here to here, and that's 34 feet. And so take 34 feet times 0.02, 34.02 times, the slope needs to be the center line needs to be 68 hundredths above those points. So then I go back to the center line here, and so at 3120, what was that, 3128? Basically, I'll go real close here. Let's get it close. Say 3128. So at 3128, I need to be, let me write this down, 31 plus 28, which is basically the 0 point of these guys, of these guys right here at 0. I need to be at 170.43 plus 68. So 170.43. I need to be at 171.11 on the center line. So you go 31.28. So this guy needs and I'm just going to work from here, from the end here. They basically start out at the same location, I believe. Let me find out some information here. Yeah, they both start out at the same point. So right here, I need a PVI. So I'll right click here and go to Edit Geometry, and we'll add a PVI right basically here. We'll get it as close as we can. And I think I want to go to APP of right there. And so that elevation right there needs to be at a 171.11. So if I set this to at 3125, and I set that to 171.11, and I follow this guy down, I'll put another PVI here. And I'm going to shoot for the center, or for the even stations, because everything's going to be stationed off of the center line here. So APP, I want a grade break there, I want a grade break here, and we'll be adjusting these as we go through, we want to have a grade break here. And we want a grade break not here. I'm going to move this grade break to here. And we'll have another grade break right here. And a PP. So now we have all our grade breaks to correlate to this roadway. And we know that the distance is roughly the same. So now what I can do from 131.25, I can say, let's see, I want to go negative 0.25. And then I want to go positive 0.25. And I'll go negative 0.25. And now the center line is going to mimic those two curves, positive 0.25 and a minus 0.25. And then we'll have to work on these as we continue to go down. So now when we look at our cross sections, these should be pretty close to 2% cross slope in our cross sections from 31.25 on down. So let's zoom in on 31.25. And it's 2.8, 2.9, 3. You know what I may have to do here? I may have to rebuild this corridor for it to take place here. So what we'll do is we'll go down to corridors main. We're going to set the rebuild to automatic here and see how this affects it. And of course, it looks like we're just about at 2% cross slope throughout. And so with a little bit of geometry, a little bit of correlation, we can make this fairly close to what we need here. And these are just shy of 2%. If I was to add some elevations to the center line just a little bit, starting at 31.25. And so let's go here and we will we'll edit the geometry. We'll look at that section here in 171.11. Let's make that or 171.11. Let's say 171 say 15. And then we can go back through once it gets done working here. And for this exercise, what we may want to do is turn this automatic off because it's going to regenerate constantly. So now we'll say minus 0.25 and 0.25 and minus 0.25 and 0.25 and minus 0.25. And now we'll rebuild this quarter once and for all here and go look at those cross sections again. And it's just going to be our iterative process. So that raised it up just a little bit higher than 2% for all of these through this area. And that's really what we want to see, is roughly a 2% cross slope on this roadway, setting the two outside edges, which are somewhat fixed, and then adjusting the center line accordingly using a little bit of math and and adding in some of those areas. So these are looking pretty good. 209, 210, 209. It's okay if it's a little bit over. I just want it a minimum of 2 and probably a maximum of 3 through here. And they're not going up and down on both sides. They're both going up and down together with the profile of the road. So the drivability of this road will be much better if we do that. And that's kind of how we would set the proposed finished ground profile. There's a little bit of work to that, a little bit of experience to that, but with enough kind of goofing around, you can usually get this stuff to work. But it's going to require a little bit of math, probably picking up a calculator and doing a couple of quick calculations, and then running that through. So we're pretty good in these areas of the 3125 on south as it's turning out. The one thing that we do need there is, because this is new curb and gutter, we do need to go through here, and let's see, this is new curb and gutter here on both sides. So from 31 and a pair down to, we'll just stop at this intersection for right now, about 4110 or 4120, we need to change out the cross section, because now in this area that we have curb and gutter on both sides, we need to switch it over to this cross section right here. So how we would do that is, we're working in this section right here. We'll highlight this and we'll go to corridor properties, and we'll go look at this section right here. Corridor properties. And so that section is roughly at 30, was that 32, 33? Let me cancel this guy out real quick and make sure, yeah, we're starting at 32. So we'll go to corridor properties and we'll find this section that starts about 30, 32, which is this last one right here. And the assembly we're using currently is no curb and gutter. So we need to add in curb and gutter both sides, or sidewalk both sides. And then we'll run this again. And now what this looks like in the cross sections for this particular area is we have curb and gutter and sidewalk on both sides from 31, say 50 on down, where the other sections don't have any curb and gutter because we're matching existing lip. So anyway, that's how you would kind of fit into your corridor an area where you've already matched the existing and now you want to target the proposed through a design.